All right, hello and welcome everyone. It's been a little while. It's been like 3 months since we did the first episode of the JCS podcast. Welcome back. I am here today with, I don't know how he'd describe it. He creates these videos of these podcasts, right? I don't know. How would you describe your content?
I usually say that I steal people's content and make it better.
Right. And I think that'd be a good way. So, if you have not recognized him or have not seen him, I am here with Sir Froge, also known as Finn by his real name, and like he said, he steals other people's content and makes it better. So, do you want to explain that a little bit more so people understand what you're going for?
Right. What I'll do is I'll take a podcast or an interview or something like that, and from 3 hours I'll turn it into like 2 minutes of just random until it makes barely any sense, and it's hopefully funny.
And he successfully does that. If you have not seen some of his stuff, I encourage you to go check it out. He's done some stuff on the Logan Paul versus KSI press conference. That's his biggest video to this day. It has 1.6 million views. Is that crazy to think about?
Yeah, man, it's insane. Like, that blew up my channel so much, that one video.
That's where it all started. But before we get too far into stuff like that, I gotta ask you, where did the name Sir Froge come from?
Yeah, I get that question a lot, man. It's I was making these sort of videos. I made like 3 or 4 of them, and I needed a place to upload them. So I figured I'd make like a special channel for it, like a meme sort of channel. And I wanted like an animal or something funny as a picture and a name to sort of create this persona, this like meme, persona to upload videos on. And I remember at one point I found this picture of this frog in this suit, and I immediately knew like that was going to be the one because it was great. So I thought of the name Sir Frog. I named my channel that at first, but then I realized that it wasn't like original enough. So I figured there's the whole meme thing where, what are they called? Like the Shibu Inu dogs are called doges instead of dogs.
Right.
So I figured a frog in the meme sort of universe would be a froge and a dog a doge.
That's perfect.
That's where the name came from.
That's funny. So when did you start YouTube? Because you said you wanted to make kind of memes. I don't know if you'd say on the side, or did you just want to shift your content and wanted to create a new channel? Where'd you start?
I originally started YouTube back in like 2011 when I was making Minecraft videos.
That's where we
like
all started.
11-year-old.
Right.
Yeah, man. And I did that channel for a while. It's terrible looking back at it, but
yeah.
I did that for a while, and then I quit, and then I started a new channel with some friends, and again I did gaming videos for a few years, and I got like 100 subscribers with that, which was crazy at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me like 3 years to get to 100 subscribers, and then I stopped with that channel again, and a couple years later, back in I think it was November 2017, I made Sir Froge, and I got to like 100 subs within 2 weeks, which was just insane.
Yeah, and
it blew up after that.
That's crazy. I know how it feels, especially as I'm kind of in that starting space. After doing the first interview, It was crazy. I think I got 100 subscribers within like a week, and it was just it was really fun. And I know we're gonna get to it a little later, but you've blown up a little bit recently, and I can't imagine how that felt to sit back and watch those numbers.
Insane, man.
Go.
Insane.
So, what made you specifically want to start YouTube? I mean, for me, when I was starting way back, I think I was probably 10, and I was watching like Ant Venom and those Minecraft YouTubers. I was like, wouldn't it be cool to just sit at home and just make these videos with my friends playing games? So what made you want to start?
Pretty much the same thing. I was watching all of these Minecraft YouTubers, like the ones you named, like Ant Venom and the Beijing Canadian and stuff.
Right.
But also a few Dutch YouTubers. Mm-hmm. And I just looked at them and was like, I can make a living off of gaming. This is perfect.
Right. Is that where
Like every 11-year-old wants to do that.
every
so
every
that's why I started.
11-year-old's dream? Where is that? Where you're based out of? The same
Yeah,
area,
I'm from the Netherlands.
Netherlands. So what time is it for you right now?
It's 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
20 past 8. Yeah.
It's crazy to think about just time zone and changes like that.
Yeah, it's like midday for you, isn't it?
Yeah. I just finished eating lunch, and you probably either finished eating dinner or it's been a little while since you did. But
Yeah.
so you're
Where are you based then?
I'm in the East Coast of the United States, so Eastern Standard Area, a little
Right.
state called
Yeah.
Maryland.
Oh, I haven't. Oh, actually, I've been to Washington D.C., but
You
I don't
have,
think
yeah,
that counts as
it's
Maryland.
right. Have you been? You've probably crossed into Maryland without thinking about it, because DC is smack dab in the middle of it. So
Yeah, I think I flew to D.C., so I don't know.
right. So your current niche, right? If I'm using that word correctly, like you said, you edit podcasts into short 1 to 2 minute videos, and you edit them. You edit the podcast members to say something funny or weird, unique. It's very unique. And I've actually seen it popped up, but I believe you were the first to start doing it. So where did you get the idea to make these little edits?
From someone else who was doing it.
Yeah.
No, there was at one point I came across this YouTuber. I don't know his name. It was just a single video. I think it was called the H3 iDubbbz podcast, but it's awkward. I think it was called.
I think I've seen that one.
And yeah, and I really liked that video, but I noticed a few editing mistakes in there because I was already editing at the time.
Right.
So I was like, I can do that, but better.
And you
So
did.
I made my own version, and I made a couple. I really enjoyed the editing process during that, so I made a couple more, and then I needed a place to upload them, so I made Surf Roach, and
The rest is
that's where it all
history.
started. Yeah,
So, are you currently employed outside of YouTube?
I'm not now. I'm still in high school.
Oh, really? What grade are you in?
Yeah, and the final one, the sixth year of high school.
Right. So,
Yeah, things work a bit different here than in the USA, I imagine.
So, are you 18, 17, 18?
I'm 18.
18. What's it like? Because I've always wondered what it would be. Do people at your school care, or is it a good thing to be with that little newfound fame there, or is it kind of like nobody really cares?
No, I don't think many people really care.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while I get like remarks like, "Hey, congrats on, this milestone," or "I really enjoyed your new video" and stuff.
Right.
But it's not like everybody knows me or whatever,
Hmm. Do you make any money, any side money off of the stuff you do right now, or nothing?
Any side money? What?
Any money? Like, do you make any profit off the videos you make right now?
Yeah, most of my videos are monetized or partly monetized. Some aren't because obviously I make quite offensive jokes sometimes.
Yeah. The adpocalypse.
That YouTube doesn't really appreciate. So
Hmm.
definitely not all of my videos, but yeah, some videos are. I
So,
do make money off of it.
have copyright strikes affected you, or have you not had issues?
I've been relatively safe from the whole copyright strike wave. Actually,
Hmm.
I've only had well, obviously I get demonetized like every other video, but
Right.
I haven't really had any like copyright claims or strikes or whatever.
Yeah, I was wondering because, with the Logan Paul Impulsive podcast, I didn't know if he would go around and have a team kind of striking down videos using his stuff, but if you're not being hit, that's
No,
That's
I
good.
don't think so.
so. I'm curious, what do you currently watch on YouTube? Like, what's your go-to sit down?
Ooh. I'm subscribed to like I think 500 channels at this
Oh
point.
man,
But I don't actually watch most of them. I'm only watch like there's only like a handful that I watch on like every video they put out.
right.
I like PewDiePie. I really like the Sideman.
Hmm.
Who else do I watch? I watched a few like gaming YouTubers like Video Game Donkey, and Swagger Souls and stuff.
Right.
Obviously I like the H3
The
H3 Productions.
H3.
and the XO guys that also do edits of.
So do you
Yeah.
sit through and because I feel like so you'd have to sit through. Do you watch the podcast twice, or do you download the podcast, throw it into your editor, and just watch it as you go?
Yeah, that I download the podcast and I'll put it in my editing software, and just as I watch through it, I'll take clips from it and put it on like a different editing track,
Right.
and then by the end of it, I'll just delete the track with footage that I don't use, and I'm left with like 3 or 4 minutes of stuff that I can use.
What do you use to edit? Do you use Premiere or
I use Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut Pro? I currently have not a deal, but I have a friend who pays for Premiere Pro. But have you ever used the Adobe suite or no?
I've tried using After Effects, but I'm using a very old Mac,
Yeah.
and it just can't run it. Like, it runs at like 1 frame per second. It's just terrible to work with.
Yeah. I've experienced a little bit of that, so I know.
So,
I know
yeah.
what you mean. But your channel, you have recently gotten a lot of traffic towards your channel.
Yeah.
And even before a recent shout out that we'll get to, you had the KSI Logan Paul conference, but it's actually good, which, like I said before, has 1.6 million views, which is a number I can't really even see myself getting. Which, what's that like?
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Yeah, it was my first. I think it's my only video to ever like pass 1 million views,
Right.
and I got it like within a week, I think. So that was just insane.
When you made the video, did you have like, because for those listening who don't know anything about Logan Paul or KSI, they're two of the platform's biggest YouTubers, and they decided to start this beef against each other and are basically making all this money off boxing matches. And they've only done one, but that first one was a huge media thing on the platform. So when you were kind of making it, did you know that, or did you have a sense that it might get a little more traction than your other videos just because it was trending, or not really?
Yeah, I figured it would be that. I made it like the moment it came out. I just sat down and started editing it,
Right.
and I uploaded it. I think like 2 or 3 hours after the original thing aired.
That's crazy, because the amount of edits in there, that would probably, I mean, I'm good at editing, and I think that would take
Yeah,
me
man.
a day. But you got it out.
So I think that was a really smart move on my part, because well, a lot of people that were still watching the original the next day, they then saw my video in like the recommended and stuff. So that's where a lot of the traffic came from.
Clips from that video were actually shown in PewDiePie's video, I believe, of the event.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know who PewDiePie is, he's the number one YouTuber, or I guess the current number one YouTuber. Who knows what will happen with that? But what was that like? Because I remember I had seen it before, and I'd seen you had, I think it was, you had been gaining a lot of subscribers from it, but I think you had 50,000. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And I was like, oh, good for him.
Something like that.
Small creators getting featured. So what was that like to see your video in a creator who you watch?
It was crazy, because I had been getting like a few like big YouTubers and stuff following me and reaching out to me.
Right.
And those YouTubers of course got bigger and bigger, and I got to like True Jordy and stuff acknowledging my existence, which was crazy at the time. And then all of a sudden I made this one video, and PewDiePie not only featured it in his video, but he also followed me on Twitter, which was crazy. That was just insane, man. That was like, you can't get any higher than that,
Right. Like,
he's at the very top.
I can't imagine. When I did the first podcast, I was already freaking out that the guy, actually watched some of my stuff and was happy that I had reached out, or willing, I should say. I'm not sure. I know he was happy to do it, but yeah. So I can't imagine the number one creator on the platform watching my stuff and reaching out. So you said you've had YouTubers reach out to you. Any names you want to share, or?
Well, obviously, a couple of weeks back there was Mini Minter.
Right, and we'll get to that.
I think you'll get into that, yeah. I've had, YouTubers follow me over time, mainly the guys from like EXO that I mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
So like True Jordy and stuff.
Have you had people reach out to you and ask for you to make content for them? Like, not exactly a collaboration, but someone bigger.
Yeah, I have. I have a couple like Will and E.
Mm-hmm.
He recently asked me to make a segment of one of his videos,
Did you do it?
and I did. Yeah, that's in one of his videos.
What's that like? Because that's not a direct. I'm not sure. Well, maybe it is. That's not a direct collaboration, right? Because how does that work?
Well, he just sent me a video, and he was like, "Hey, can you turn this into like 30 seconds or a minute of what you usually do?"
How long was the video before?
I think it was like a 10-minute video, like a regular YouTube video.
Right. He just wanted.
So, yeah, I just made that. And
did you get traction from it?
No, I don't think I got a lot of traction from it.
Right.
But it was around the same time that the Mini Mentor thing happened, so maybe there was, but
so was the PewDiePie, and I'm not sure how many people you gained from the PewDiePie, because I don't think he directly shouted you out, but he did say, check this guy out on his channel.
Yeah, it didn't mention me in the video itself, I think.
He just put your tag.
I left a link in my description and put a tag in the video itself. So
was that your first?
Thousands.
Was the Logan Paul KSI press conference video? That was your first big break, right?
Well, that was as I said, the first video to hit over 1 million views. But there was one other video, which I made, I think, 3 weeks after I started my channel, which was the H3 podcast with Post Malone and Joji.
Right.
And that video got like 200,000 views within a couple of days. So I'd say that was my first video to really blow up. Like I got like 2,000 subscribers from that. I think that's what initially like kickstarted my channel.
So you said you started in November of 2017, which would put you, well, you're at 131,000 subscribers right now, I believe. So that's like a year that you got there, a little bit over a year.
Yeah, like a year and.
When you started your channel, did you expect anything like that?
Not this much.
No.
I set my main goal as like 100K, but I didn't even think that I would hit that.
Right. Well, you did.
I think I was hoping for maybe like 10K, but I definitely didn't expect 100.
So, let's get into the Mini Mentor video. That's another creator who's, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong name, but he's close with KSI, right? Like, so how did that get started? Did you know before his video that he was going to use some clips? Or?
Yeah, I did, because he asked me on Twitter DMs if he could use one of my videos. So that was really nice of him.
Yeah.
Other YouTubers don't really do that, but he did. So
were you kind of freaking out when he, not freaking out, but were you excited when he?
Yeah, man, I was definitely excited. I mean, even on his second channel, the guy has like 5 million subs, so I was like, I'm gonna make bank off of this.
Right.
Jesus.
So, how do you know the numbers? How many people? You were at 70,000 subscribers, and then it pushed you over to 100, right?
I think when I was before the Mini Mentor thing, I was on 92,000, I think.
92,000.
And now I'm 131. So
that's crazy.
Like a week.
So that's like, it's probably not that alone, but I think you could say 20,000 probably came from traffic from him.
Yeah, probably like 30,000 from him. Yeah.
So we're getting pretty close to the first break, and the second half, as people know, is a little bit longer than the first half. But I'm starting this new tradition that I decided to because I was watching the last one, and I was trying to take the good parts and separate them from the bad. This stood out to me. It was kind of a random question that I just asked, and it didn't really lead to anywhere, but I'm not sure if you have any experience with this. So it's a really deep question, if you're ready. It gets a little philosophical.
Sure, man, hit me.
Xbox or PlayStation?
I'm a PC gamer.
PC gamer? So no opinion?
I'm sorry.
Do you lean Microsoft?
No opinion.
Because
I've never owned either PlayStation or an Xbox, so I wouldn't really know.
Right. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are back into it, and this is a segment that I guess it becomes a segment by the second episode of the podcast. So this is the statistics portion. I'm going to read you some numbers, and you can react to them as you will. If you don't want to say anything about them, you don't have to, but if you have something to say about them, you can. All right?
Fine, yeah.
All right. So right now, these are all off Social Blade. You are closing in on 132,000 subscribers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You have 13 million video views.
Jesus, is that much?
Yeah.
Last I checked, it was like 9 million, I think.
And I don't know if this next number, I'm always like confused by it. Not confused, but perplexed by it because it really lets you know how many YouTube channels there are out there. So this could either be humbling or confusing, I don't know. But you're the 86,221st most subscribed YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a lot from like countries all over the place as well.
I know.
I don't know.
It's crazy how big the platform is.
It's getting more and more as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was just of, you could either be higher or you could be lower. So you have this is insane. This really tells you how much this past month has been important to your channel. You've gained 43,000 subscribers in the past 30 days. So you've gone.
Shout out to Mini Meter,
right. That's a big little push there. And even on top of that, you've got 1,713,000 views gained in the past 30 days.
Man,
are those numbers overwhelming?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm from a fairly like small country and stuff, so like those numbers, you just put it in perspective. Yeah.
Put in perspective.
If you just put it in perspective with how many people that actually is, like,
it's insane.
You could try to imagine like a crowd of 13 million people or whatever.
Right.
It's insane.
I believe that's more than lives in my entire county. And it's definitely like, just thinking about you going to school, your school feels big, or maybe it feels small, but the people there, they feel like there's a lot of people. Those numbers are nothing compared to the people who watch your videos. So, do you worry about driving away new subscribers? Like and I'm sure the answer is yes, or maybe you're more chill than I am. But when I got the 100 more and now it's climbed to 300, I was freaking out. Not freaking out, but I was concerned about the next video I uploaded because I was worried all the people who came were going to be disappointed by the next content I created, and I didn't want to lose them, right? Eventually I just uploaded it anyway because the video the podcast, which is how they all came in, that video was basically all about not worrying about that stuff. So I was like, well, that's a little hypocritical of me to not upload after. But do you worry about that stuff, or?
I don't really worry about like chasing off subscribers, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I was very nervous when I did my my face reveal video like last week.
Right.
Because that's not what I usually do, and I really didn't think people were gonna enjoy it that much.
It seemed like a lot of people
really,
did.
like, yeah, that was the crazy part, man. I was really like nervous about how people would react to that, but the response to that was overwhelmingly positive, so that was crazy.
This is the other statistic I left out, and I'm not sure how you'll feel about this. Or your channel grade is a B on Social Blade. So I don't know. You can take that as you will.
I don't even know how they like calculate that. Or
me neither. I think I have like a D right now because of my uploading schedule. So I'm sure it doesn't mean much, but
I don't have an uploading schedule either, man. I just upload whenever I get a video done.
Right.
So.
I told myself I'd upload weekly, and here we are, the 26th, and I haven't uploaded since last year.
Yeah,
I guess,
mean, like as I said, I've had like a couple channels over the years, and I've tried to like set schedules for myself.
It just doesn't work.
Especially with like, I'm too lazy.
And with
like,
school too.
Things come up, and definitely. But it's also like, if you're a very small YouTuber, like nobody's really gonna care if you have a schedule or not. You know? Like I think it's more important to make high quality videos than that you make a video every week or whatever.
That makes sense. So for the people currently watching on my channel, look at the channel art. You may notice it's changed. It no longer says new videos every week. It says videos whenever I feel like it, because that is a more accurate representation of when you're going to get content. So have this isn't a statistic, but this is something interesting I saw on your Social Blade profile. You are currently trending on Social Blade, and you're extremely popular. Their words, not mine. Meaning people are searching your channel on Social Blade to see your numbers frequently, which I thought I knew I was going to be looking because, research for the podcast, but it was just interesting to me that people are looking at your numbers over the past few days.
I mean, I look it up like sometimes,
Right.
especially like when the Minimeter thing happened. I just pulled it up on my laptop and just sat there watching it, like as I was editing. But I mean, I don't know why other people
Would look at that.
like care that much. Yeah.
The other statistic that I was going to bring up, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. It said you were making $5 a month to $50,000 a month, which is quite the
Yeah.
range. So,
If I was making $50,000 a month, I wouldn't be going to school, man.
right,
I would just
you
quit
just
now.
drop out now. I was about to say, I'm not sure he's
Uh,
making the 50K a month. But
I wish, man. I wish.
the
Nowhere near that.
the final little, I think this was just an advertisement by Social Blade, but it popped up in the little corner and it says, if this is your channel, you could be making $12,000 per video if you signed up for our program and got sponsored. Which brings me into my next question. Have you had any sponsorship requests or companies reach out to you?
I've had companies reach out to me, yeah.
Any that you can
but-
talk about, or are you under contract?
Yeah, I think I could talk about it because I'm not taking
Mhm.
anyone up on their offer. Because usually they tend to be like automatic emails where like, can you review our candy or can you play our video game?
Right.
And it's just like, that's not the videos that I make, so like I'm not gonna make a sponsored video on it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um,
You
Yeah.
would want the sponsorships to mean something that goes with your content, right?
yeah. But then again, it's hard to like put a sponsorship on my type of content.
But then you're missing out on the $250,000 Rice Gum made, So you gotta have a middle ground.
I mean, if I start making more like face cam videos that everyone's asking for now,
Maybe
then,
you'll review that
Maybe.
candy and toy bag.
Any gambling sites wanna hit me up? I'm here, man.
So on YouTube, creators, they frequently adapt and change their content, right? Do you see yourself
Yeah.
changing what you make, or do you have any long-term goals or projects that you're comfortable sharing for the future of your channel, or are you just going with the flow?
Well, I might move to a few more like of those like real life type videos,
Right.
especially if Article 13 passes, and that might cause some trouble for my type of videos.
Oh.
I might have to start making my own stuff.
So actually, let's get into that a little bit. I don't know how much you have to say, but I'm American, and that's not really an issue right now for me. I mean, they passed net neutrality, but with Donald Trump in office, if you want to say one thing he's done, it's he's distracted everyone else. So that's not really going anywhere.
Yeah.
So right now we're free to make whatever content we want. But can you explain Article 13 a little bit and what implications it would have on your channel?
So Article 13 is an EU law, or it will become a law probably. That makes it a lot easier for companies to put copyright claims on like images or music or whatever. So even the use of like a single image or a single second of a song can get your whole video claimed. And right now they're like negotiating about the exact wording of it all and if it actually passes, but it's probably going to pass. And when it does, like YouTube and Google and stuff will have to they have to like adjust their website and stuff. I think they showed a an image like a couple of days ago
Yeah, I saw that.
about how YouTube could look, and it's like the YouTube homepage, but all the thumbnails are like
Blurred out.
completely black.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they can't like show it without special permission.
Yeah, that's
And
scary stuff. And I think part of the issue is the people, not to get too political here, but the people in office just don't know how it works. You know,
hmm.
they don't get it.
I mean, they're not internet people, you know.
Right.
They're old people. They don't care.
Right.
They just see like companies making a profit, and they're like, yeah, okay, you own that, so it's good if you can make a profit off of it. It's only fair.
Well, my
Which
go ahead.
it's understandable, like their perspective of it all,
Mhm.
but at the same time, like we are here too, you know.
Right.
There's people making memes, and like all people don't get the internet, so
Hmm. My only thing about that, if and when it does pass, is I feel like that the older people or the people in charge might actually see what they just did, or see like
mm,
the reaction from people when it happens, and I just don't see it lasting that long. You know, I feel like they'd be quick to remove it if it made it in.
the thing is that nothing ever goes quick in the EU.
Yeah.
Even if they want to remove it quickly, it'll take them months, maybe like a year, to get that done.
It's true.
So yeah, I don't know.
I mean, look at Brexit. That they announced that in 2015 or whatever.
Oh
and
man.
here we are. So we're gonna start moving into more. We've been pretty casual, but even more casual stuff. This is a cheesy question, okay, and I understand it.
Sure.
I'm acknowledging it now. What is your favorite thing about YouTube or being a YouTuber? I hear a lot about the community, and I've seen the community you've built through Discord, which is a chat and messaging platform for those who don't know what Discord is. So is community important to you? Has that been one of the better parts of gaining this following, or
Yeah,
what's been the
man.
best part?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely the people that all like know you and look up to you, and it's just being able to make someone's day or someone's whole week by just like favoriting a tweet or replying to one of their videos,
Right.
and that's like crazy if you can do that. And another really cool part of it all is getting to talk to all of these big YouTubers that I've been watching for years and that I look up to, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're talking to me as their equal. You know,
Yeah.
that's like a crazy part of it all.
And you're still growing. I like you're
Yeah,
you're
man.
you're in a genre that is kind of picking up a lot of pace. You look at Grande and Mimulus and stuff like that. You're in there, and especially I think, and this is just my opinion, but I think if the face cam stuff continues to work for you, and you kind of adapt
Mm.
into being able to do that multiple stuff, I think it'll be pretty big, and I don't know. I've been seeing this growth and seeing what you're doing with your channel, and if there's anyone who's doing the right things with their content, I think it's you. But
Thank you, man.
all right. So as a meme creator, right? Is that something you'd take? Would you take that title, meme creator?
Yeah, sure.
So what's your favorite meme?
At the moment or in
We'll do
general?
at the moment, and then we can do long time.
Ooh, at the moment. Well, let's see what's happening at the moment. The PewDiePie versus T series.
Right, that's a good
has
one.
been going on for a while. That's a really good
Do you
one.
think-
I'm enjoying that one.
So you know what the Super Bowl is, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if people internationally watch it. I know it's a huge American.
No.
Yeah,
We don't watch it, but we know of it because you never shut up about it. You
it's true. So go Patriots in the Super Bowl, third time in the past 3 years. Humble brag. Anyway, there's been talk about Mr. Beast, who's a big YouTuber, and PewDiePie have talked, and I don't know if they're going to do it, but you may not know, and some international listeners may not know.
I've heard of
But
it.
advertising
Right.
in the Super Bowl, it's like for 1 second is $1 million. Like it actually costs that much. And they were talking about getting an ad for subscriber to PewDiePie during it, and there's been rumors that
Mm.
PewDiePie is paying a little bit, and they might even be getting a sponsor like Quid to allow them to use Quid space to talk about the PewDiePie versus T series. Do you think that's something Would you be interested in seeing that happen, or do you think that's realistic? Or
I'd love to see it happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's realistic, but I'm hoping so, man.
Me
That
too.
would be great.
I
That
think
would
it'd be
very
great
cool.
if I was just sitting there watching and that came on. But
Yeah.
so, what's your favorite all time meme?
Mm, I don't know, man. They come and go like every couple of days.
I know
So
there's
I don't,
something new every week.
It's hard to pick.
I think mine right now, one of them, or I guess this is more recent, which would be why I'm picking it. But for some reason, I love the Big Chungus meme. I mean,
Yeah.
when I saw,
that was
and for the
great.
people watching right now, not listening, audio only, there was just, I saw this video, and I'll play it real quick.
I got you a gift. I know it's a little bit early, but it just came in. No, it just came in. I figured I'd give it to you now.
What's this?
It's Big Chungus.
What is Big Chungus?
Do you like it?
I don't even have a PS4. What is Big Chungus? Is this a joke?
Found it so
I saw
funny.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was freaking out about it. But so we're
One meme I have to say that's absolutely terrible is the oh yeah.
oh my goodness, yeah, I want to talk about it.
Oh my god.
I just got
My comment section on my channel is absolutely overflowing with oh yeah.
So I'm going to be making a video about the PewDiePie T-Series thing because that's kind of becoming popular again, and I gotta get the views. So I'll be making something like that, and then after that, if this meme is still around, I'll be mad because why is it still around in 2 weeks? But B, so I hit 300 subs today. The last 10 were people with the oh yeah icon.
Oh my god.
And I woke up this morning
Yeah.
and I got a DM from one of my subscribers, who I believe is in England, which is crazy that with 300 subs I've got people over the world watching. But he DM'd me and he was like, "You might want to check your comment section." I'm like, "Okay." And I see, and it's like, "You have a pet llama, oh yeah," and then it's like, "Oh yeah, and I'm like, "What is happening?" And it's the dumbest thing, and that's what the internet does. It's so stupid.
There's so many of them. I don't know how there are so many.
I went in
of them.
KSI's comments and you just scroll down and it's
Yeah.
it's insane.
But like, the guy that made up the meme, the Maximilian Mas, I think his name
Right.
is, he has like 1 million subscribers.
And there's so
Which-
many.
I mean, that's a lot, but it's not that much, you know.
Hmm. Comparatively.
It's crazy how he's all over the place, all over YouTube, everywhere.
And you'd think he'd have Mr. Beast like numbers with that much. Like his community is
Yeah.
just insanely active.
It's crazy.
So
Yeah.
I think he actually has gained 100,000 to 200,000 subscribers in the past week with the oh yeah, which I mean I wish I could make a music video with Fortnite dances where I just said oh yeah and get that much traction, but I don't think that's how it works. So before we get into what the JCS podcast is about, the advice for up and coming YouTubers like myself. And I guess you are still, even though you've gotten bigger, you are an up and coming YouTuber by definition, right? So we're going to get into a little
Yeah.
bit of the advice you'd have and a discussion about that. But real quick, I want to shout out, I want to give you a platform, and maybe you don't have any right now, but to shout out other favorite small creators you have seen who should get a little bit of a following.
Yeah, I think in my face review video I shouted out one channel which I thought was very underrated,
Right.
which was a channel called Wham. Well, on Twitter months ago I made like
You pinned it, I
what you
believe.
call
It's
it?
it's a thread.
yeah, I painted it. It's a thread full of channels that I think are underrated and deserve more subs, and all of them have like under 20,000 subs, I think.
Yeah,
they should
I
have
saw
more.
one of them. I clicked on it, and the guy has 2,000, and he had 200 subs. I think at the time that you posted. So you're definitely making an impact with them. And now I'll put it on your screen actually, and if you're listening in audio, you're Maybe I'll put some of them in the show notes, but definitely check out on his Twitter. I mean, you should be following him and subscribing to him anyway because he came onto the podcast. But at Surf Roge on Twitter, check those channels out and check his channel out. Yeah,
man.
I think it's important.
Gotta do it.
As you, and I'm not just saying this for you. I'm saying it so I remember myself. But as creators get bigger, they got to remember some of the people also trying to do the stuff because.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I mainly blew up due to like other people shouting me out, so it's only fair that I try to do the same.
I got that. All right, so into the main event. So obviously, there are many people. I'm one who have dreams of becoming a YouTuber as a profession, but they do not know where to start. So I asked this question oh my goodness, I can't speak today. I asked this question last time. I'm asking it this time. Where would you tell somebody who was worried or just confused as to where to start?
Just start with doing something that you enjoy.
Right.
Because if you don't enjoy the process of making videos, then there's no point. You're not gonna want to make it your job anyway.
Right.
So just do what you love.
You gotta be having fun with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what would you tell someone, and because you have experience, because you said you started when you were younger, and these thoughts may have gone through your head then. I know they went through my head, and my content was awful. Like, nobody would want to watch the stuff I made, but I was still asking the questions. So I'm making videos, right? Let's say I'm making videos, but my channel is not growing at all. What do I do?
Ooh, that's a good question, man. I don't know, because I got very lucky with like one video that sort of blew up.
Because your videos are growing, so.
Yeah, one thing I never personally did was ask for subscribers on other people's comment sections.
Really, you've seen that, right?
Yeah.
You've seen.
I see it all the time in my own comment sections, man.
I had a channel before the current channel I'm on, like a year ago, and that was pre-puberty me, right? I was good at editing, but obviously I've got the squeaker voice and stuff like that. But the comments in that would be just, "Hey man, love your channel, love the video, would love it if you subscribe to my channel," and it's the same exact comment every time, and I really want to discourage people from doing that because it's annoying and you're not going to get subscribers that way. In fact, you get marked by YouTube.
People aren't gonna like it when you do that. They're not gonna subscribe to you.
You get marked by YouTube. Actually, I found this out because as I was young, I did try and do this a little bit, and your comments don't get posted after that because they mark you as a spam channel. So be careful with what you do because you're not going to get that much from it, and you could lose potentially a lot. But
yeah, one thing I've got to say about like prepubescent like YouTubers and people with the sort of squeaky voices still is I made the same mistake. You can't be a serious YouTuber,
right? Because
people aren't gonna take you seriously.
I think
you gotta be like ironic.
Yeah, you have to. And I think I think that part of doing YouTube for those who have grown up with YouTube, right? I think that's important because it's the starting steps where you learn what works, you learn from other YouTubers, and you learn to edit.
Exactly.
But you need to know, and I'm not trying to discourage you guys at all for the younger viewers. Don't hear that I'm telling you not to create videos, but do not quit just because you're not getting views or subscribers. It'll come, you'll get older, and you'll be so much better at editing. It's practice makes perfect, and you're getting the practice in now for when the game comes, or when the time comes for your channel.
As I said, I've been doing YouTube on and off for like the better part of 7 years, and I've only just now like really started to blow up. But I wouldn't have been able to blow up as I do now if I didn't have those shit channels back in the day.
Right, if you didn't have the starting blocks to build your editing experience. So what are the ways that you promote? Because sometimes the YouTube algorithm doesn't exactly help smaller creators. You know, sometimes it'll promote the people on top. And now with the new trending page, as you probably have seen, whatever goes on trending, at least for Americans, looks like it's handpicked. So
Oh yeah, same.
it's never really going to be a small channel. So what ways, and I know you've been shouted out a lot recently, but are there any ways that you've promoted your channel that you have found out have worked, or have you kind of just sat back and let the channel promote itself?
I never really like actively try to promote myself.
Right.
But one thing I do is just like jump on waves, on trends. Like if there's something going big, like recently the rice gum thing. Obviously that was a whole like controversial thing, so I made a video on rice gum.
Yeah, let me explain that.
Because that was popular at the time.
Let me explain that event real quick because I know we've mentioned it. Two big YouTubers, Rice Gum, who in my opinion is a very toxic YouTuber, but I do have respect for how he's grown, and Jake Paul, who, from those who know anything about YouTube, those names are not exactly top tier names. They took what has been estimated to be over $250,000 from a gambling website that has you open these surprise boxes for money where you can, in theory, get a MacBook Pro for $20 or you could get a pen for $20. And both creators have audiences of young, impressionable viewers, and they were telling them to go on this gambling website, and they got a lot of kickback for doing so. And that's what we've been referring to.
Yeah.
But, so you think hopping on trends like that has helped you?
Yeah, definitely. Like as I said with my most viewed video, I think the main reason why that blew up so much is because I uploaded it a couple hours after the original video aired.
Right.
Like it was still very fresh, very popular. So that, yeah, I think that's what blew it up.
So I think there's a fine line from between talking about what's trending or making videos about what's trending and doing what's trending, right? And I learned this recently with, you know how PewDiePie has his meme review content, right?
Yeah.
I decided I was going to try and go on Reddit and do a meme review of my own. And as I was editing it, it failed miserably, right? Because I am not his persona or personality. And it's very important that when you come on YouTube, you're not copying other creators directly. I mean, you you said you got your idea from someone else, but the thing about you kind of adapted it, right? You made it your own. And
yeah, I mean, like I started off making videos on the H3 podcast, which were other people were doing that at the time, but then I also started doing it of like, for example, the True Geordie podcast, which at the time nobody was really making edits of that. So I took an idea and turned it into something that hadn't really been done before.
Right.
Yeah.
So, life lesson for everybody trying to start a YouTube channel: be original, adapt, and don't copy PewDiePie's main review because it won't work out for you.
And one more thing, I think I said it before: quality over quantity.
Exactly.
You've got to put work into your videos until they're absolutely perfect, rather than just try to shit out a video every week.
Right.
Because if you're making this low quality videos, nobody's going to be watching them. You've got to make high quality stuff that people are going to want to share and they're actually going to enjoy, because that's why people subscribe.
So let's talk about DM advertising. All right, it's happened to me. It's happened to you. Do you think there's something to it, or do you think it's just annoying?
I think it's kind of annoying, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't do it, guys. If you're listening, I don't want to join your Discord just because you sent me a link to it, and I probably won't subscribe to your YouTube channel just because you spam my DMs with it. That's a good way to turn people away from your YouTube channel, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I get that it seems like an easy way to promote your channel, but in the end, I think it's only gonna give you more backlash and more hate. So I I wouldn't recommend it.
So here is a topic that we've touched a little bit already, and it's been very important to you. But what are your thoughts on shoutouts? Now, before you give them, I want to give a little background. In the last episode, we actually talked about shoutouts as not being that helpful because and I think we were more specifically talking about shoutout series, right? Like spam, where you'd be like, all right, here's this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, go check him out. When you shout out like that, people are less entitled to go see their content because you're doing it in a quick fashion, and not that it's bad or anything, but they're not seeing what you do, and they're not seeing a reason to go look at your content, right? With your shoutouts,
I agree, yeah.
With your shoutouts, they've showed clips of your content. So, what's your opinion on shoutouts in general?
Well, I think shoutouts can be definitely very helpful, especially from, of course, bigger YouTubers. Right. But yeah, I agree with what you say. Like, you've got to give some context of what the channel actually is, because if you just mention a name and then move on, like, not many people are gonna care.
Right.
And even if they care enough to subscribe, they won't really be watching your videos probably.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't help with any like views or whatever.
Exactly. What do you think the most important thing is to remember when creating content on YouTube?
Probably, yeah, as I said, like quality over quantity.
Right.
I'm guilty of putting quantity over quality myself. There were times on YouTube where I'm just, okay, this video is done now, even though
I'm guilty with it too. You just want it to go up, you want to see it grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And but yeah, no, try to make videos, start to work on videos until they're exactly the way you want them, and until they're like absolutely perfect, and then upload it.
Right.
Because in the end, like, yeah, people are gonna enjoy quality videos more than an abundance of mediocre videos.
So this next question is one of my favorite questions because it was a big talking point in the last podcast, and it's something I've struggled with, and I'm curious if you have struggled with it, because I know it's a frequent thing creators do have issues with. But what would you say to someone who continuously starts a video but midway through just wants or feels that the video is trash and just wants to end it and scrap it, when in reality it's just because they're getting tired of it, you know? Have you ever had that issue?
Oh yeah. Yeah, sometimes. I've had a couple of videos where I was editing it, and but like as I got to the end, I was just like, this isn't funny enough.
Right.
Like, I can't upload it. It's not the quality that I want to upload.
Did you end up uploading it?
No.
No.
Well, I ended uploading them, but I kept them on private.
Okay.
So they're there on my channel, but I don't. Yeah, nobody's really seen them. I've like shown them to like 2 or 3 people to see what they think, and then didn't listen and still didn't upload it.
So they liked them, and you didn't, and you still were against them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like that. I mean, obviously, when you create something, whenever you're creating something, you're always going to be more of a critic to yourself, because you're like, you had this idea in mind, and it's never going to be exactly that idea.
Right.
Like, you notice the little imperfections in it that other people won't really notice. So you're obviously going to be more of a critic to yourself. But even then, like, yeah, no, those videos that I didn't upload were I just felt like they weren't funny enough, even though some other people were like, yeah, this is good enough.
So, have there been videos that you've uploaded that you, during the process, you felt like they weren't good enough?
There's been videos that I've uploaded and then taken down later on because I thought they weren't good enough.
They weren't. That's funny. So, would you tell people that if they feel that way, not to upload them, or?
Well, as I said, like, I mean, the quality of the videos is important, but I'd recommend definitely having a few other people look at it and see what they think, and choose like honest people, not just your parents or whatever, because they're just gonna tell you, you're doing a great job. But ask people that are also on YouTube, or people that actually like can be critical of you and ask them what they think. And if they're positive of it, just go for it. And if not, then, well, I don't know, maybe trying something different.
Hmm. That's funny you say that, because in the last time we had that's a different opinion than we had last time. Last time, I don't know if you watched it. I wouldn't hold it against you for not watching it, because it was long, and if that's not your thing, then why would you put your time into something
I
like
haven't.
that?
No, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But he said, and this is Tamago2474. He said that he has had issues like that, but he has just uploaded them. And if they haven't performed well, he's never lost anything, but he's gained the experience from it. And I think there's points to both sides of the argument, but that's...
I think that's a good point as well. Yeah. But I also think it depends a bit on how big of a channel you are.
Right.
Because if you're still a smaller channel, then uploading it, like, it isn't gonna
affect
much.
Right.
Whereas if you have a lot of subscribers, they're gonna expect a certain quality of you, and if you don't get that quality, then you might get some like negative feedback.
Right.
Or whatever.
At some point, you got to have a business mind to it if you want to grow.
Yeah.
Speaking, backtracking a little bit here, what do you think the importance of family and friends is? Kind of, when you're logging off, sort of, So, one thing I worry about for me, and I see it happen with some other YouTubers, is their ego gets big because of the following. Do you worry that could happen to you?
I mean, in the end, I'm still a guy who makes memes for a living. Like, I doubt my ego is gonna get that big.
Right.
But at the same time, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not nearly big enough to have a huge ego, I think.
Right.
Maybe if I had like 10 million subs, that it might start affecting me.
But flexing a little bit. But
yeah, at the moment, like, I'm still living with family, and they keep me grounded, and like my friends will tell me when I'm like overreaching or whatever.
Do your friends tell you when your content is crap? Not that you've had crappy content, but they call you out.
Well, they tell me my content is crap regardless of how good it is.
Right. I got the same issue.
It's just friends, man.
I know, they're great.
They're great, yeah. Love them.
So one thing that this is my personal belief, and I've kind of toned it down a little bit because, I've been taught that everybody's got their own style of content and you shouldn't judge them for their style. But my personal preference is I don't think you're doing YouTube right if you are not editing your videos. And I've seen people just make videos that are straight through and not edited at all. And one person that I love, who is actually a big inspiration to me, I don't know if you've seen his videos. You've heard of him though. MKBHD, Marquez Brownlee.
Yeah, I know
his videos are they're scripted a little bit, but they're casual. But what really gets me about them is the editing and the quality of them. You can see there's so much time put into them, and even videos like yours and some other meme creators. I mean, editing takes time, but it's so important into the YouTube basis. And I think if you're not editing, I don't know, you're kind of missing out on that. What's your thoughts?
Well, uploading unedited content is just not gonna let of views, is it?
Right.
Like, how many big YouTubers upload unedited content?
Right.
So, like, I wouldn't really recommend it. But at the same time, like, you don't, you shouldn't over-edit it either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can also think of like podcasts and stuff. They just put up 3-hour conversations with not much editing going on.
That is true. I haven't thought about that because this is going to go up as only a little bit of editing, but
yeah, I mean, editing goes into it though, and editing it's like makeup, you can make your videos better afterwards.
Right.
So why not put in a little bit of work?
So what do you use? You told Final Cut Pro, and you're on that Mac, but have you always been on that Mac?
No. Back when I had my Minecraft channel when I was 11, I had a proper PC. and I started off editing with Windows Movie Maker.
Yep. Me
The
too.
best software.
I have a Minecraft
And,
video saved that I remember was my first video that I was actually like proud of, and it was Windows Movie Maker that I did it in, and I was so proud of it.
Yeah, man.
But
It felt good to edit.
It did.
And then later on, I moved on to, I think it was Sony Vegas Pro. And then
Which
at one point my
you 100% paid for legally, right? 100%.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But a 14-year-old me definitely couldn't afford
Right.
that $500 price tag. Yeah. And then at one point my PC broke and I moved it onto this Mac, and Sony Vegas Pro doesn't work on Mac. It's PC and Microsoft only.
Do you have
I had to move on.
Do you have
to
plans
Final
on upgrading as your channel gets bigger, or not right now?
Cut. I would love to, but again, that costs a lot of money,
Right.
and like my memes, my edits don't really make all that much. So
Now some people say that they can't start YouTube because they don't have the right software or the right hardware or anything like that. What would you say to somebody who says they can't make videos because they don't have the equipment for it?
well, partly it depends on what sort of videos you make.
Right.
If you're making gaming videos, you've got to have a PC that at least runs the game smoothly, because nobody's gonna watch a video that's in like 5 frames per second. But if you're just like filming yourself, it really doesn't matter all that much whether you're recording iPhone or like a proper camera, because almost all big YouTubers started off recording with an iPhone
Right.
or something like that. You've got to start somewhere, you know, and I mean, if you need proper equipment to make good videos, then like, I don't know, maybe you got to try making good videos without proper equipment first.
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere.
You get what I mean?
No, I get
Yeah.
what you mean. If you said, it's like this: if you can't play basketball in tennis shoes, chances are, basketball shoes aren't gonna make you that much better.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, all right. Is there anything else you want to add? Any advice? Any final advice you'd give to a smaller creator or somebody starting out? Anything at all? This is your moment to just give anything.
One thing I can say is, when you eventually talk to a bigger YouTuber, don't act like a fanboy.
Is
I
that what
did
you
it
did?
when a certain YouTuber reached out to me. I'm not gonna say who it was, but I acted like a bit too much of a fan because I was very excited at the time.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, to put it bluntly, nobody's gonna enjoy talking to their fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's nice for a couple of minutes or whatever, but you're gonna not want to have like long conversation with people that just worship you or whatever.
Right.
So just act casual, and don't over exaggerate with how much you like them.
Did they stop?
Because
I'm curious. Did they stop messaging you after that, or
they did, yeah.
that's rough? You gotta learn the hard way
Yeah,
sometimes.
man.
Huh?
Exactly. So now I try to act more casual when it happens.
All right. Well, I'm super appreciative for you to come on to be the second episode of the JCS podcast. We've had this
man.
set up
No
for
worries.
a little bit, and this time just worked out. So go ahead and promote anything you want to promote. This next part is all for you.
Of course, my YouTube channel, Surf Roach. Same for my Twitter. Same for my Instagram. Go follow and subscribe to all of that. Shout out to Dog Beef. He makes cool videos as well, similar to mine. Shout out to Wham. They deserve more subscribers. And shout out to my mom for making me.
That's always that's an important one to keep with.
Also, subscribe to PewDiePie.
Oh, if you're not subscribed to PewDiePie and you're subscribed to my channel, I'm just a little confused what you're doing with your life currently.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'll definitely get on that. But once again, thank you for watching. You can find me at JoshuaC_Scott on Instagram and Snapchat, or JoshuaC_Scott YT on Twitter because Twitter doesn't know how to unlock my old account for reasons I will talk about in another episode. So you're going to have to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Apple, which is the same thing as iTunes, but I said it twice. And yeah, once again, thanks for coming on. We'll see you guys in the next one.